Let's talk about that partisan gerrymandering decision first. They basically said, we're not touching it.
Yeah, you're going to start with the easy one, David. The court, in a 5-4 decision, conservatives in the majority said you cannot challenge voting maps, congressional, state legislative maps, as being so partisan they violate the Constitution. That was a question that has really been open for decades. The Supreme Court at one point said you could challenge them, but they've never come up with standards for doing that. They've never struck down a map as being too partisan. And today, Chief Justice John Roberts for the court shut the door. He said this is a political matter. It's something that the court should not be involved in.
Yeah, exactly. Essentially, it was too hot a potato for them to take on, a political question. At the same time, they did get involved in the census. Now, we'll remember that what that was whether they could include a question about race in the census questionnaire. And the court sort of said, well, I won't say you can't ever, but you can't do it given the justification you have here. So where does that leave it?
Yeah, so the question is whether the Census Bureau can add, and the Commerce Department can add a question asking, is this person a citizen on the census? The administration had tried to do that. A lower court blocked that. The Supreme Court agreed to some degree with the lower court and disagreed to other extents. It has kicked it back to the Commerce Department. And what the court said was the explanation you gave was not good enough. It was pretextual. The evidence showed that Wilbur Ross, the Commerce Secretary, came into his job determined to add the question. He eventually got the Justice Department to say, hey, it would help us enforce the Voting Rights Act, which is designed to protect minority rights at the polls. And the Supreme Court, a splintered court, Roberts at this point with the 4 liberals said that explanation couldn't be squared with the evidence, kicked it back to the Commerce Department. And now the question is, do they have time to get a better explanation? And that's not totally clear.